How's everyone doing? I thought I had a video with just Gimme logo in, but I don't. But we are going to be talking about AEW Revolution going down this weekend. We are multi-streaming. We're on Gimme and Wrestling Royalty, as we always seem to be on a Friday night now. So if you can, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and when you see me in a second, I'll probably have another guest.
This is Broken Matt Hardy. Thank you for watching the Gimme a Whole Year Wrestling Podcast.
I'm so jealous of how good that logo looks for Wrestling Royalty.
You know what, Sporsy, if you're watching this, mate, you've gone to bed because, to be fair to you, you're jet lagged, and you've been working hard. But it's all right, mate. We'll market your company for you. It's all good.
We will.
Don't worry.
We will. Don't worry.
It's no, he's there. He's in the comments as well. Let's.
Sweet. That's
no, it's your show. You can do that, mate. It's your show. My show's tonight.
I mean, I can't see the comments on Wrestling Royalty's page. All I can see is the Gimme Hullier stuff, I'm afraid. But, I mean, let me see. I'm going to bring up the Wrestling Royalty page on YouTube so I can see the comments on there.
Oh, yeah, good idea. I was going to say, Dan, it's been a while. We haven't done this for a little bit, have we? I think we've been ill, we've been away, we've been this, we've been that, but we're in WrestleMania. So I don't know where Anthony and Bob are tonight. I don't know if they're working or whatever, but well, it looks like one of us is walking away with a belt tonight, so that's nice. Well, not tonight.
100%. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I've still got it. I got it at the Royal Rumble, so I'm sticking with it.
Oh, did you? Because I got it before that, but I never actually held it because I don't live in bloody Hull.
No.
I was the champion. But yeah, at least I've technically been the Gimme Hall champion.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've just been over on Wrestling Royalty and, like I said, Gimme Hull, and talking about WWE and the aftermath of Elimination Chamber moving into WrestleMania season in full. But it's not a WWE stream. It is AEW Revolution tonight. Because that goes down, is it Sunday night? We
should really know this, shouldn't we?
I think it's Sunday night. AEW moved everything till Sunday night, didn't they?
Me and Andy did this as well. Right, I'm looking.
Yeah. So we're going to go through the full match card and we're going to have a little bit of chat about each match. So we're going to start off. It's an 8-man scramble. I did bring up the other 2 participants in the match, which are Magnus and Dante Martin by the, I don't know if it's a rumor, I don't know if it's the tapings that have happened, but they are in the match. I think it's official, but it's obviously not been shown until Collision later on tonight.
Yeah, interesting choices as well. It is Sunday, by the way. We knew that. We were just testing the audience. But yeah, it is Sunday, and yeah, interesting choice. Like I was going to say, if we get straight into it, I kind of liked the whole meat angle they were doing before this. I know they've kind of taken that away, but yeah, that's what we're all here for, isn't it? We all like some meat, manly meat, slapping meat, or whatever. We'll take that.
Sponsored by Arby's.
Yeah, but I don't get me wrong. Hook improves any match. I'm a bit over Jericho at the moment. Not in a horrible way. I just am. But look, everybody involved. This is going to be fun. I am kind of looking forward to it. This is going to be good.
It's going to be, because of the people in there, there is still a lot of man meat. Powerhouse Hobbs, Lance Archer, Wardlow, Brian Cage. That's an absolute beef sandwich, isn't it? I don't know what else. What else do you call it?
Get all his meat out in one go, but no. Look. This is it's going to be fun. Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a time in history. I'm going back to like 2017 when WWE Raw was really, really good before it took its nosedive in like 2018. And we had like these multi-man matches between like Brock, Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns, Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt, and we had like where they just and they just killed each other every week, and it was great. This kind of reminds me of that a little bit, and I really enjoyed that era because we were just on the cusp of some like new, really exciting stars. And apart from Jericho, like because he's an established star, so I'm not disrespecting him, but everybody else is kind of there currently. And I know it's a different dynamic with AEW to what it is with WWE, but there's. I think Jericho is the odd one out. But they are adding, and because if they had some high flyers, that makes sense, I suppose.
Yeah,
but
Dante Martin, perfect.
Yeah, I don't think they've ruined it by changing it. I'm all for it, and if it allows more stars to get on the pay per view, cool, crack on.
Exactly. So I mean, we've had a quick chat about. We think Jericho is the odd one out. Powerhouse Hobbs, what do you reckon his chances are?
See, I do wonder. I think Wardlow's winning it.
Yes.
Because I think they need Wardlow to look strong because of this Undisputed Kingdom story that they're doing. But I do think Hobbs is going to get a good showing. Lance Archer just tends to get buried. Brian Cage is more of a Ring of Honor guy.
Yes.
So I don't know what's going to happen there. Hook will have a good showing. He's always very plucky, always very fearless. He's got a great gimmick, so I like that. And he's the only champion in there as well. I kind of think this should have been a match for that belt.
The FTW belt.
Yeah, because he's the only, like, let's be honest now, they've kind of quietly got rid of the whole, it's not an official belt thing. Quietly. Like, it still isn't official, but they now defend it on pay-per-views a lot. So it's kind of official, isn't it? So I do sort of think we're getting screwed out of a title match a little bit, having Hook in there. I was kind of hoping he'd go up against somebody, maybe Jungle Boy would pop back up and attack him, but no. I think this should be for the belt, but I think Wardlow's winning it. And to answer your question, because I've gone around the houses as I tend to do, Powerhouse Hobbs is going to have a good showing, but ain't going to win.
Yeah, I think that would be the way that I would be going. I'd want Hook, Wardlow, and Powerhouse Hobbs to be the stars of the match. I would probably have Dante Martin look good as well with a couple of high flying spots because that's the sort of thing that he absolutely excels at.
Yeah, it's top flight after all. Yeah,
a lot of big slams, power bombs. I think that's what we're going to see a lot of in this match. If we don't see a table destroyed at ringside or a couple of them, I think they're going to be missing out on a trick there.
Yeah, no, completely. This needs to be an absolute violent slugfest where everybody kicks the living crap out of each other. And I actually think there's look, sometimes some people give AEW a lot of stick. I think there's a lot of stars in this match. I'm quite excited for it. And if they start with this, my God, they're going to get the crowd hot. So I'm all for it.
I would start off very first person coming out, Chris Jericho, get everyone singing along, get the crowd invested in it.
Yes.
Then have everyone else come in. Start off hot with that crowd interaction. That will then get everyone entertained. And I mean, for me, I think Wardlow will win it. But my heart is actually saying Powerhouse Hobbs, and that is who I'm going for my prediction.
Okay, then. Well, I'm going to go for Wardlow. You go for Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yes.
I haven't with the sheet yet. I will. We've got time. This is always what happens, by the way, people. If you're watching this back, Dan always works hard on sending out this sheet, and then I always forget to fill it out. But I will, mate. I promise I will.
There you go. I have pinned that message on the YouTube pages. So if you want to join in, get your predictions in, you can answer all the questions, put your Facebook name, your Twitter name, your Instagram name. That way we can let you know if you've won. And we'll move on to match number 2, which is TNT Championship, Christian Cage versus Daniel Garcia. This should be a good, fun match as well, I think.
Yeah, this is a strange one because they're kind of repeating, which is the point. That's not a criticism. Some of the whole "you've got a dead dad, join my family" thing. that they like to do with Christian Cage. And I think Garcia's a babyface now, surely.
Yes, gotta be.
You know, I know it's
Especially
a little
with a
bit
dancing
more.
gimmick.
Yeah, that's a great. Yeah, it's brilliant. I can't do it. I've tried. My hips don't go that way.
No.
They just don't work like that. I'd love to see you trying to do it. That'd be good. That'd be cool.
I mean, as Shakira says, my hips don't lie.
Yeah, well, Shakira says it. The girl knows. She's got her own statue, apparently. But yeah, I think Christian Cage is winning this. I think this story here is does it end here, or do they build to something bigger with Garcia? I kind of like the story of either Daddy Magic betraying Garcia or Daddy Magic becoming an absolute brother in arms to him. Either way, I think he's going to be involved. But I think Christian retains because this Christian holding that belt is absolutely money.
Yeah, it's a storyline that it could work for such a good length of time because it is an easy story to tell. Christian Cage being the absolute a-hole that he is, just finding anyone on the roster that's lost a parent or they've had some tragedy in their life and just takes the nick out of them for it. He doesn't need to do anything else. He generates his heat easily. So if you need to turn someone from a tweener or a heel into a babyface, you put them up against Christian Cage. It's easy money, I think.
No, I agree. I completely agree.
But I will throw the question out. Who do you think should take the title off Christian Cage?
Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't ask me that. I don't know. Part of me says Darby Allin, but he's kind of doing his own thing. Actually, no. I do have a fantasy booking thing for you here. So I kind of like the idea of Christian seeing off all babyface challenges, and then just when he thinks he's indestructible, he's attacked and annihilated by Jungle Boy, by Jack Perry, who comes back and is like, do you think I forgot about you? Do you think just because I'm doing my thing now, being a heel, that I forgot about all the things you did and you said, no, I'm going to smash you. I'm going to destroy you. You think you're the big bad here? You haven't seen anything. And I love the idea of Jack Perry going on an absolute campaign of terror on Christian Cage to the point where we actually start feeling bad for him. And then he takes the belt back and basically takes it from Christian Cage's mangled corpse. And the storyline is here: Christian created this monster. You being what you were, this is what you made. And how many more of these have you made? What about Nick Wayne? What about Garcia? And what if these guys come under Jungle Boy's spell and they all start following him? Then Christian needs to kind of reunite with Edge and eat humble pie to maybe take down these guys. So that's where I would go with this. Because like Jack Perry and New Japan, look, I get there's some backstage political stuff that going on there from All In. I get it, but you know, Jack Perry's very much still working for the company. He's taking sabbatical working for New Japan because it makes sense. But at some point, they've got to bring him back. And when they bring him back, I think they're making a supervillain to eclipse Christian Cage. But I also like the idea of it being Luchasaurus, a repentant Luchasaurus who needs to be the one to try and bring Jungle Boy back to the light and say, look, I betrayed you. I'm so sorry. I am why this happened. Come back. Don't be him. So that's where I am. I think there's a lot of storylines they can multi-layer and they can lean into to do that. So yeah, you asked me. I was hoping you weren't going to ask me, but there you go. I forgot I had something.
Because I've been thinking about this one for a little bit because of how long Christian Cage has been holding it. What would I really, really, really like to see? And I think I came up with a perfect one. Very similar thing. A character that has had tragedy in the past. Christian Cage starts calling him out because of how fresh it is Matt Briscoe.
Yeah.
Have Christian Cage go, and instead of the mother or father route, somewhere around Jay Briscoe's birthday, as long as Mark is obviously okay with everything, have that sort of story set up, and just have Matt come out, Texas no holds barred, no DQ, whatever you want, Texas deathmatch if you really want to go that far, and have Matt Briscoe take the title off him, because I think the crowd would love that fact of the wrestler himself is well known. If you say Jungle Boy's family or Luchasaurus' family or Daniel Garcia's family, it's not someone that's really known to the wrestling community. Whereas Jay Briscoe, obviously, you saw the emotion that people had when he ended up passing at the start of last year. I think you could play that quite well, because the crowd would get really invested behind Mark Briscoe, because it is someone that the crowd did actually understand and did know that character quite well as well.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to unpack with that. It's because I remember seeing a tweet from somebody. I don't know who it was, but they said something along the lines of, "I can't believe Jay Briscoe had to die in order for people to see his value and realize he wasn't what people were saying he was." Because I think a lot of people took some of the comments he said out of context, because he was being a heel. He was trying to be a heel redneck character, and some of his tweets were a little bit were a little bit silly, and
Yes.
probably would go away. Were not the right kind of heat. But the guy wasn't. He was playing a bad guy, and yes, that was a little bit ill-informed, but he wasn't the man. Jermaine Pugh wasn't this homophobe.
No.
He was like, what can I do to be a redneck villain on Twitter? Oh, some of them are homophobic. That's what I'll do. That's what he was doing. It doesn't excuse it, but we can all take comfort in knowing that isn't who the man was. Now, my point is with this, Christian Cage could use that. Could say, Mark, it took your brother to die for people to actually realise, and to actually accept him. What does it say about you? You really could go that way with it. But my only worry with this is it a little bit Eddie's in hell? Do you remember that?
Yeah, Randy Orton.
And that didn't go down well and hasn't aged well. So I don't like. It's a nice idea, but I don't know if it's a little bit too soon. That's just me.
I like I said, this is what we're here for. It's a balanced argument for everything that we say. This is why we couldn't do a Dom versus Ant series, because we're too polite. We've said before. We have said this before.
We will have a Dan versus Sam by the end of the stream, guys, because Dan versus Sam blows Ant versus Dom out of the water. It's the gimmick is we're just too kind and respectful to those two are best mates. But the thing is with like people with that relationship is they can be like that with each other. You can be that cutting with someone you're that close to. So Dan and Dom Dom and Ant aren't really killing each other. That's just how they are with each other. And we know we've shared hotel rooms with them, haven't we?
Yes.
So
we
know well. That is just their dynamic. And the next minute they're telling each other how much they love each other. We're all so there you go.
So next match we have got the AEW Women's World Championship. Timeless Tony Storm going up against Deonna Purrazzo, which moving from, it was Impact, wasn't it?
Yes, TNA, as we're allowed to call them again.
TNA at the time, Impact at the time, but now TNA. Because you are the TNA Impact guy, I'll let you take the lead on this one.
Yeah, sure. Well, to be fair, the episodes of TV are still called Impact. It's TNA Impact, but it's so bloody confusing. Even I'm confused. I've been doing this for 20 years. with TNA. Just when I started calling them Impact, they come back to being TNA again. It's like, I can't win, guys. Anyway, yeah, Deonna Purrazzo is a massive star from the Indies, from TNA. She held the Knockouts Championship a couple of times. I've interviewed her a few times as well. I bumped into her on a stairwell not so long ago, which was and wished her good luck in her match. But yeah, Toni Storm is one of the best parts of AEW right now for me. I think Deanna's fantastic. I hope she kicks the ever-loving snot out of Toni Storm in this match. But Toni Storm needs to cheat to win, involving Mariah. Or does Mariah betray Toni Storm here? I don't know. So, but I think I'm going with Toni to retain. Deonna and Madison Rayne had a match that was a bit embarrassing. Nothing they did wrong. I think it was the booking, or there was a couple of botches on Madison's part. So it's nothing Deonna needs to concern herself with. But she'll really want to put on a good showing now to prove that she is the virtuoso and fantastic wrestler she really, really is. And NXT slept on this superstar, and would probably really like her back. But anyway, we'll I'm going with Toni Storm, timeless Toni Storm to win. Deanna's great, but it's not her time yet.
No, it's not someone that I've really had much viewing of in terms of the TNA Impact side. But the timeless Toni Storm gimmick has been an absolute wonder of how entertaining it's been, how over it seems to be getting as well.
I love nice for. I see what you did there. Thank you for uploading the link to my interview with Deanna on WrestleSphere as well. I like that. Spoken to her a couple of times. And her husband, who's Steve Macklin from TNA. Both of them superb, lovely people. But yeah, she's a proper wrestler, Deonna Purrazzo. She can tie you in knots, and like Toni Storm's great as well. But like, this character is so good, but I'm not ready for all this to end quite yet. So yeah, I'm going with Toni, mate.
Yep, I completely agree with you there. I think the gimmick is better than the wrestler at the minute. I think Toni Storm is a fantastic wrestler, but I think the gimmick is doing more work for her than the wrestling in the ring actually is as well.
Yeah, maybe. She had some good matches with Rhea Ripley in WWE. I seem to remember. They were very good. But yeah, I know what you mean.
The finalists of the Mae Young Classic.
I think she was. I think she lost out to Kairi Sane or was it Rhea Ripley who lost out to Kairi Sane?
I thought it was. Did Toni Storm win it and beat Rhea in the final? I think that was.
Oh, was that the year after?
Yeah, it could have been.
Kairi Sane won the first one, didn't she? I think.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago. I was on my honeymoon.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, yeah, I think that one we're both going timeless Toni Storm for the win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next match we've got, which I think is going to be a rough and ready match. FTR versus the two members of Blackpool Combat Club, John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli. Go for it. What do we think?
So this is a grudge match. It isn't for any belt, is it?
No.
Then it really doesn't matter who wins. I think FTR are the better team, the more like gelled team. But I think Moxley and Claudio are individually Ring of Honor champion. The other is he's Moxley, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, the Shield, baby. So you wondered where I was going with that, didn't you?
A little bit.
My money is on Moxley and Claudio winning because I think they are the more over team at the moment with the Blackpool Combat Club, and I think it generates more heat for FTR, and one of FTR might need to take some time off soon. So
maybe
we won't talk about that here, but
no,
he's got, bless him, he's got things to do. But again, it won't be career ending, but he might need to just take care of some things and then come back.
Bit of time away. Take a bit of a sabbatical, I think.
Yeah, and stay out of any arguments with people in the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I'd be going the other way because I think now that AEW have brought back the ratings, I think that they would prefer FTR to be higher up the card because they are just, I think, still after 5-6 years, one of the best tag teams in the whole of the industry.
The best, I'd say. Yeah, personally.
I'd definitely put them up there. There's other teams that I like watching more, but in terms of synchronicity, I don't think FTR can be rivaled at the minute.
Yeah, they are. They're superb everywhere they go. They're fascinating
Definitely.
to watch, and their gimmick just them being them is plenty and is so good. So fair enough. So I'll go with the BCC, and you go with FTR.
Yes.
We have some divergence. So yeah, cool.
Yeah. This could be the start of someone's
Sam
championship
versus
reign.
Sam. Yeah, mine.
This to me is the match that I am most looking forward to. Will Ospreay versus Kanoso Takeshita. I think this is going to be 5.5, 6-star match easily because they're just that good.
Yeah, look, they're both awesome, and I do think it's. I think there needs to be more heat, though. I don't know if they've. I've missed Dynamite this week. I need to go back and watch it. I don't know if it's got a bit of a lack of heat because they've been aligned for so long. So I think one of them needs to betray the other. But more importantly, that walking penis himself, Don Callis, needs to get taken out by one of them. I don't mean that disrespectfully. I think
he needs to go back to his old name, Cyrus the Virus.
Yeah, but he's
because that's what he is.
Yeah, but he does look like a sentient penis. Sorry, but and that little scar doesn't help matters. But anyway, look, yeah, these two are both super fantastic. Like Will Ospreay, AEW really needs an injection of star power right now. Ospreay, Okada, and Mercedes Moné are it, and I don't think it's going to allow them to eclipse WWE anytime soon because WWE is on a roll right now. But it's defo going to give them a wicked boost. It's going to make it must-watch TV, and that's what I'm here for. I don't need AEW to beat WWE. I just need them to be the alternative and to be great. And Takeshita's great, but Ospreay, this needs to be Ospreay's moment, doesn't it? His arrival. Because he's got out his back in New Japan, and he's gone out in his back in Rev Pro. So he really needs a win now if he's going to be who he says he is, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he can't be this new, fresh toy that Tony Khan has got and letting him lose his very first official AEW match.
He needs to be a tough guy babyface. He needs to come in, kill Takeshita in a hard-hitting match where Takeshita takes him to the limit. Then the Don Callis family needs to turn on him, attack him. Then we enter a feud with Hobbs, perhaps. Which builds up Hobbs, builds up, Ospreay as the star. He's always been, and we know he is. And I might try and put my interview with Ospreay on here next as well. I'm not saying you go and find it. I can go and find it in a minute. But
I've just had a look, and I don't seem to be able to see it on the WrestleSphere website.
Oh, I'll find it in a bit. I'll find it. I don't know where it is, but I don't know. How was strange. Anyway, whatever. There is an interview. Ladies and gentlemen, there is an interview between myself and Will Ospreay on WrestleSphere somewhere, but God knows where it is. But yeah, it's on YouTube as well, folks. You can have a little look on YouTube as well as WrestleSphere. But anyway, yeah, I've got Ospreay for the win, mate, and I imagine you do too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you can pick against him. I mean, in terms of worldwide performers, I don't think there's many people that are better at the minute.
Yeah, do you remember his feud with Rollins on Twitter? That was brilliant. Absolutely
amazing.
Brilliant.
Absolutely
they had
amazing.
to turn Rollins heel because of that.
Yeah,
it was that good. But anyway, yeah, that's the feud I want to see, guys. Come on, WWE and AEW, let's have a fight between you both and get Rollins versus Ospreay. Sell some some tickets, make some money. But yeah, I'm going with Ospreay, and yeah, I figured you would as well. Sorry, Takeshi.
Yeah.
You are good.
I mean, there's not much else that you can say about this one, but with Will Ospreay coming, you've got obviously Okada on the wings, possibly. I mean, we know it's not possibly, but Mercedes Moné, probably 10 days time, 12 days time when she's debuting. Do we think? So you've got these big stars that you need to build up, yeah. So next one we've got is the AEW International Championship. Orange Cassidy defending it against Roderick Strong. This is going to be an interesting match because I've not seen how this match has come about, but Orange Cassidy will put on a banger. I don't care what people say.
See, I agree with you. I do. But I agree with you because I think Roderick Strong is the guy who's got the bangability, and we'll edit that out in post. But there is no post, by the way. I just said that live on the internet. But yeah, I think Roddy Strong is the man in this match, and I've got him to win again because of there's no interview, by the way, with me and either of these guys. So there's, it'd be great with the one. But yeah, you found it. Oh, nice! You found the Ospreay interview.
Yes.
There it is, guys. There is our Will Ospreay interview on WrestleSphere. So go on YouTube. Sorry, so give that a watch. It's only a really, really short one, because it was a junket. But yeah, it was nice to speak to Ospreay, and he was exactly as you imagine he'd be. But yeah, look, I think Roderick Strong is. I've been a huge fan of Roderick Strong since his early Ring of Honor days. I've never been a massive Orange Cassidy guy. I appreciate the gimmick; it does pop me sometimes. I think he's great in the ring as well, but I do sometimes feel he's a bit overexposed, and I'm ready for him to lose that bloody belt, and I'm ready for it to go on. So like he carries it in that stupid rucksack, and I'm done with it. I'm done with it, Dan. I need him gone. I need it gone. And I want to see the Undisputed Kingdom become the supervillains of AEW. I don't want to see them associated with anything comedy related. I want them to start killing people, and really, I want them to be built up to be absolute monsters. So when MJF comes back and starts picking them off, which is where we're going with this, it's going to mean something. He can't still be going Orange Adam when that happens. But get some gold on Roddy, make him look strong, make him look serious, have him brutalize Cassidy. Because that'll be good for Cassidy as well, because Cassidy will then get babyface support, and it'll boost him up, it'll make him more over with the fans. So that's what I think they should do. I'm going with the Messiah of the backbreaker, Roderick Strong, for the win.
Yeah, I've got Orange Cassidy because I think if you have Roderick Strong lose this match, you could then build up the story of Adam Cole returning maybe from injury and him being the one to take the title off Orange Cassidy in the future.
I never thought of that. I never actually had Cole in the International Championship picture. I always had him in the picture of the World Championship. But it's interesting because getting one of the mid-card belts is the pathway to one of the bigger belts, I suppose. So it could work.
It could be. I think with when Adam Cole does end up coming back, I think that the MJF storyline might have been brushed aside a little bit because some people didn't seem to enjoy it. So the best way to forget about that is to put him into a completely different feud altogether. Orange Cassidy backing up his mate Roderick Strong.
I think it wasn't the MJF thing that was the problem. I'm going to respectfully disagree. It wasn't so this isn't Ant versus Dom. We are going to be very respectful with one another. We're not going to. I'm going to bite your head off. You're wrong. You're shit. Yeah. I think the issue with that story is the booking of the Undisputed Kingdom, not MJF. I think MJF going away and licking his wounds and then coming back as a dark, avenging character, taking payback on all those who wronged him. I mean, Samoa Joe, the Undisputed Kingdom, everybody, finally leading to a rematch with Adam Cole at All In at Wembley too. Now, I think that is where they're going with this, but they need the Undisputed Kingdom to be monsters. And the problem is they booked the Undisputed Kingdom quite weakly since they debuted. So, but make no mistake, the story is MJF flirting with the darkness, but going to the light, because the big takeaway from this MJF story is he really did change. It wasn't a swerve. MJF, the scumbag, the friendship of Adam Cole really did have a positive impact on him, did change him, and only for that person to then betray him, undoing all that good work. Now, that's the story now. So MJF will be thinking, well, I might as well go back to being who I always was, but will ultimately realise, no, I don't need, I can be better. And that is how you get a generational babyface, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Like, look, is MJF a better heel than a face? Yes, of course he is. He's brilliant at it. But this is the story they're telling, and they've gone too far now to come away from that. If MJF just comes back and is instantly a bad guy, then it undoes all this good work. Like MJF taking the belt off Cole when Cole inevitably gets it. At Wembley at the second year, standing there, victorious, offering his hand to Cole like they did the year before. Come on, mate, shake it. And Cole snubbing him and storming off. That's what I want to see all in. And hopefully we'll be there again.
I'd be having Will Ospreay win the title at All In.
Ooh, maybe.
That to me is a bigger pop than anything else that they could do. Giving a UK guy a world title in his own city, in his hometown, I think it's the easiest story that Tony Khan could tell, and it would get Will Ospreay over massive.
Yeah, you are right. You are right. I wish I could just disagree with you and call you out. Like, you are right, but I don't know if this August, this year, in 7 months' time. No, not 7 months. I was looking at it. I think it was January. Jesus, it's March. In a few months' time. I don't know if that is the right time for that. It could be, but I don't know. I'm going to go with my booking for now, because Ospreay could do something else. He could get TNT. And then they could maybe build up to him doing the world title a year later, presuming they do Wembley a third time. But I reckon they'll be a different stadium by then. Yeah,
I mean, it's not until the back end of August, so you've got all of March, April, May, June, July. So you've got just shy of the 6 month mark. And I mean, you'll look at, it's not really the good thing to talk about in a minute, but Brock Lesnar's first year in WWE. You look at Kurt Angle's first proper year in WWE. Within the year, they'd held the big championships.
Yeah.
And it made them a main event star for years to come. If you want if you want Will Ospreay to be a main event star for years to come, put the title on him. You might not even have to do.
Sense. Stop making sense. I hate it. I'm just going to go for a quick wee, mate. I'll let you. If we move on, I'll let you go first, and I'll be back with you in a moment.
Yeah, sure.
I've been sinking us like they're going out of business.
So I mean, we have only got 2 matches left, but if you need to go, I'll do a bit of plug. You're on mute. I can't hear you.
Yeah, I swore then. I'll just go for a quick wee, and I'll be right back. I'm very professional.
Yep, no problem. So we'll give him a second. So yeah, if you haven't already, do like, share the video, subscribe to the channel, whether it is on Gimme Hulia, whether it is the Wrestling Royalty, because we are doing a simulcast. We're streaming across both platforms. Make sure you are here on Sunday night, because we probably will be covering it. I think it will be Ant. I may be doing a little bit as well. But we have got Sam will be back in just over 2 hours to cover the SmackDown, the first one after Elimination Chamber that was this past weekend. They did do a stream just beforehand over on Wrestling Royalty and on Gimme Whole Year, discussing the road to WrestleMania from this point, giving you all of the ideas, all of their opinions, all of their booking, so you can see what you think. Let's have we got someone? Yes, we'll save that one till the end. But we will have a little video from someone who's not on the AEW Revolution card, which is a bit of a shame. But
hello, welcome, and give me a hell yeah. Give me a whole yeah. Give me a whole yeah. From the Spanish god, Sammy Guevara. Cheers to everyone watching in Yorkshire and beyond. I hope you guys have a great day from the Spanish god. Shout out to Dom. Shout out to Anthony. You guys are smart because you're fans of me. And anyways, have a great day.
I find it quite weird that Sammy Guevara's not on the card.
Yeah, I was going to say Guevara, you know, and I'm aware you recorded that when it was just Anthony and Dom, but there's like 5 of us now. So, yeah, you like send the fix, you know, it's all right.
Yeah. Sammy, get yourself in gear.
Yeah, come on, mate. It's Spanish. Gods are meant to be omniscient and omnipresent. But anyway,
yes.
Now look at this. This
we've got 2 matches left, and I don't know which one I would prefer. I know which one I think will be the main event. But would you have this as the main event?
What's the other one? I forget. Oh, Jesus. My favourite wrestler of all time. What is wrong with me? I've had a beer. Yeah, I think you're right, mate. Yeah, let's go with this one.
Yeah.
Like, my problem with this match is it's a 3-way. I actually think Hangman doesn't need to be in this. I think Swerve, AEW have done too many time limit draws recently. No disrespect, but they have. This should be Swerve versus Samoa Joe, with Swerve making a really, really, really good showing, but coming up short. Look, I like Hangman, but I don't really want to see him hold the belt again at the moment. So, yeah, if it was up to me, it'd be Swerve versus Samoa Joe. But it's going to be hard-hitting. It's going to be fun, because all 3 of them are in it. I think Joe is going to do certain things to avoid the other 2 and let the other 2 kill each other. But if you want to know who's winning this, Dan, I'm going with Samoa Joe to retain. They didn't put this belt on Samoa Joe to take it off him this quickly.
No, I completely agree. If you have someone like Samoa Joe holding that title, it makes it feel like a big deal. I would love to see Swerve Strickland win it, because I think he's just that good of a character, that good of a performer, that he could elevate that title. But I just don't think he's right there yet.
He's at TNT for me. You know, I think he's at the level to get the TNT belt. Not the World Championship. Like, again, I've been a big Swerve guy for a very long time. I've been a Swerve guy since Evolve and his feud with Matt Riddle. I thought, my God, this guy's brilliant. But I think Page needs to turn heel and maybe align himself with the Young Bucks, maybe be their hitman or something like that. I could see that happening. I think Joe needs to lose the belt in spring or summer to Adam Cole through chicanery. If you put it on Swerve and then hot shot it onto Cole, and Cole is going to hold it at some point, because that's how they're going to bring MJF back. So, and MJF, I don't care what anybody says, is probably the biggest star, homegrown star in the company. So, and there's a lot of storyline riding on MJF. So, I think Joe retains here. I think Swerve cements his babyface turn. Maybe gets rid of Nana. Maybe severs himself. No, I know. But the problem is, Nana is a heel manager. And if they really want to make Swerve one of the guys, one of the baby faces, he needs rid of Nana. He needs to lariat him out of nowhere or something like that. You're right, the dance is great, but has it done its work? Has it done its work?
Imagine that dance as a face, though.
it's pretty like I love Nana. He's a great character, but is he capable of being a babyface manager?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
He is so over with the crowd.
Yeah, he is. There is that.
It's
but he's
so easy. If you are over as a heel, you should be even more over as a face, in my opinion.
No, I don't know. I think there are some people who can really get over well as a heel and be huge star, like Roman Reigns, for example. Like Roman Reigns getting over as a heel was effortless, just effortless. Getting over as a babyface took years and years and years and years, and it still never truly happened.
It didn't get over, but if you are that over as a heel right now, and as an example, loses a title at Mania, disappears for 3-4 months, bring him back as an all-conquering babyface, like they did with The Rock.
Yeah.
I think that is going to make him even bigger. And if you have Prince Nana at Strickland's side, the crowd will absolutely blow the roof off to do the dance with him.
Yeah, mate. Okay, that's a good counter. I was going to say with Roman Reigns, I think it would need to be a redemption story.
Yes,
he'd need to come up against. He'd need to still be him and sulking and at his weakest, at his lowest, and then for maybe to feud with someone like Jacob Fatu. Maybe Fatu could come in and be like, "Hang on a minute, you tribal chief. I never agreed to that, mate. I'm part of this family, just as much as you are. I never bent the knee to you. You ain't no tribal chief." And before you know it, you got Fatu bullying Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is the plucky baby face. Fatu is the big ass heel. And you have Roman's redemption story overcoming Fatu or something like that. But yeah, in terms of Swerve, he's ready to be cheered. And I agree with you with the Nana thing. But I don't, other than the dance, who is Nana as a babyface? Like, I go back to Ring of Honor and all the old school stuff. Like he's the Nigerian prince who funds the wrestlers. So and Hassan's in. Hi Hassan. Say hello to Hassan. Hi Hassan. Hi. There is this an AEW Revolution preview? It is, mate.
It's just
the other two at work. I vote this one.
I'd love to see it be Swerve, but we both think it's Joe, I'm afraid. I mean, we have put a link in the description. It is also in the chat. So if you want to answer for every single match, you can join in along. We will be keeping our eye out during the pay-per-view itself and seeing who is doing well, who's doing brilliant. And there is a couple of tiebreaker questions if people get the same amount of questions right all the way through.
Do we know, this is probably something we should talk about in private or backstage, but do we know who's doing Revolution? Because I'll be in Centre Parks, I'm afraid, mate.
I think it will be Anne, because it is an AW one.
I was going to say, Conspicuous by his absence this evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Anthony Nail. I'm joking.
But it is a Friday. He has got a very important job with theatres and stuff, so he probably will be working.
Yeah, he's too big for the likes of us these days. Too big for us, isn't he? So you and I do it. Right?
I could possibly be doing it as well. I don't know yet.
Well, you improve every pay-per-view, mate. You improve every pay-per-view.
Nah, not all of them, but a couple. So we are going on to...
Just not the ones I watch naked. Like, or maybe you would. I don't know. What do you think, Sam? Would Dan improve naked?
I was going to say, if you're watching me and you're naked, I don't want to know about that.
I've shared a bed with you. You can shut up. There you go. We both wore boxes, though, didn't we, mate?
Yes, we did.
And, this has gone off the rails. Just to explain what's going on there, guys, it's only at WrestleMania. We the four of us shared a room just to cut down on costs, and it was very punk rock. It was great fun. I remember thinking to myself, "My God, Dan is the best bed partner ever," because he just rolls over, doesn't snore, and just you don't even know he's there. Where in my house, I'm being kicked by Jess, my wife. I'm being kicked by my dog. I've got a cat going. No, nightmare. Anyway, give me Dan back any day. Right, but there we go. Tangent over.
I mean, I am going to message Jess and just clip the bit where you want me in your bed more than her.
Jess has got F off to Dan saved on her phone because Dan's always trying to tempt me to get a Rogue Ally
Rog Alley, yeah.
Yeah, and
ROG.
she's like, who are you messaging? Oh, I'm talking to Dan. Tell him to F off. It's like he just invited you to his wedding, you silly girl. You can't say that to him.
Yeah. Got Minecraft magazine, Pokemon Retro Gamer magazine. That sounds awesome. I'm a huge Pokemon fan. As quite a lot of people know, I've got a Pokeball tattoo.
I'm jealous.
Let's talk about. Oh no, I forgot we had this
Yeah,
one.
me too. Well, this is a nice surprise, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Continental Crown Championship. Eddie Kingston doing the belt collector gimmick, which I think is absolutely brilliant for him because he's a beast of a man.
He's great. I love him.
What belts has he got at the minute? He's got the Ring of Honor. Is it the New Japan?
I can tell you what he's got. He's got the me too, his son. He's got the Ring of Honor World Championship.
Yep.
He's got the New Japan Strong Championship, which is basically their. No, it's their. No, it isn't their United States Championship. It's something different. It's more of their. I suppose it's their NXT Championship in a way. And he's got the rather confusing AEW Continental Championship as well, which is weird considering they've got the international, but whatever. So he's got 3 belts, one for each company, and collectively it's the Continental Crown Championship. Now, I've got a real problem with this. It was great to see Eddie win all 3, but this is really burying the Ring of Honor Championship as far as I am concerned. I don't mind Eddie holding the other belts, but I don't like the idea of Daniel Bryan holding all 3. Can this please be... Because the Ring of Honor Championship shouldn't be lumped in with 2 of the mid-card belts. That's my problem. So it feels like the Ring of Honor Championship is buried a little bit, because it's the thing, Dan. I want to see Eddie, Supercard of Honor, wrestle somebody in a big money match, the day before WrestleMania, just before the NXT show.
Claudio Castagnoli.
Somebody like, or maybe even Brian.
That's such an easy story.
Yeah, but the AEW exactly, but the AEW belt and the Ring of Honor belt are muddying the water for me. So I think at some point we need to forget the fact that get rid of the link between these 3 belts, and just make Eddie a triple champion. That's just me. I'd
rather have Eddie drop the Ring of Honor title to someone so they can take it back to Ring of Honor and defend it religiously in Ring of Honor, or I'd have him drop the other 2 titles and then put Eddie back as the big face of Ring of Honor.
Do you know what I'd do? I'd have him lose the AEW belt to Danielson, who is arguably a bigger star in AEW. I'd have him hold on to the Ring of Honor World Championship, because that's the one that means the most to Eddie. That's the one he took off Claudio. That's the one where you've got to be a technical wrestler somewhat. You've got it's not as sports entertainment as the AEW belts. And then you've got the New Japan one. Now, New Japan Strong doesn't exist right now. It's defunct, but it could come back. So New Japan have got no value for that belt, so they're allowing Tony Khan to do this with the belt. Now, do you know what I think with that? Not that AEW needs any more bloody belts, but I think stick that on somebody like Ospreay the minute he gets there.
Yeah.
A New Japan guy, or stick it on Okada, someone who's got some investment in New Japan. Give him that belt for a bit. But all that really matters to me with Eddie, it's great that Eddie Kingston's a triple champion. It's great. But what matters to me is Eddie Kingston being a world champion in Ring of Honor, the place where Claudio, where he's worked many times before. And that's the story here. And that's the story I want to see going into Supercard of Honor WrestleMania weekend. So, that's my 10 pence on the matter.
So, let's get main event time. I think this is going to be the one that is going to close the show. They're going to give Sting the big send-off as his last ever match. You've got Darby Allin, you've got Sting as the AEW World Tag Team Champions going up against the EVPs of AEW, Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks. So where do we think this one's going to go? Is Sting going to get a win on his way out, or is he going to do the job like a proper veteran and go on his back?
Just funny. I nearly wore my Sting t-shirt today. I know you did. Like that. That is beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, that's gorgeous. I ended up wearing a Roman Reigns t-shirt, but it's the one when Roman beat cancer. It's that t-shirt.
Yeah.
So I really love that t-shirt. But anyway, I think the Bucks are winning this. I think that's where this has been going for a while. Gomez Adams 1 and Gomez Adams 2. I genuinely think are going to take the belts. And they're like, these are our belts. We created these belts. We're EVPs. Yeah. Sting's old school. Sting can go out on his back. He's done it before. He was meant to eventually take the WWE Championship off Seth Rollins. Not a lot of people know this, but because he got heavily injured in that match with Seth Rollins, that became his retirement match. But I think Sting is enough of a gentleman to think, you know what, the Bucks have got a lot of things to do in this industry, and I've done everything. So I think Sting going out on his back and saying to Darby, "It's all you now, mate. It's all you." Is the story here. I think that's been the story since the beginning of those two getting together. You know me, mate. Sting's my favorite of all time. He's my absolute bae. But the story here is the Young Bucks being villains and Darby Allin being the hero to overcome them, and Sting being the old sage. I think Sting and Darby need to lose, and I'm all. You know what? I'm all right with that as well. Like it sticks in my craw a bit that it has to be the bloody Young Bucks because I'm not. You know what I mean? Because I'm not a massive Young Bucks guy. I acknowledge that they've had some absolute blinders in the past, but I'm still not a massive fan of their style. I preferred them when they were in Bullet Club. I enjoyed their matches against the Golden Lovers. I loved their matches against the Lucha Brothers in the cage that time when the Lucha Brothers beat them. They've put on some really good matches, and they are capable of fantastic matches. I just want to slap them. But
they've got that face, haven't they?
Yeah, both of them. Slap. But here's the thing. That right now, with them as heels, goes in their favour.
Yes, definitely.
They know, and here's the thing. They know a lot of people think that about them. And that is why we're in this story and why they've got that gimmick. They know I want to slap them, so they're becoming slappable. So, hats off.
Yeah, I think Sting is, at this point in his career, he knows what he needs to do, and that is he will take the pin for Darby Allin's sake to stop Darby Allin looking weak. Young Bucks will get so much heat, and that will push Darby Allin up as a big baby face after Sting has actually retired. And I don't know if we'll still see him maybe as a managerial candidate for someone, probably Darby Allin, or we'll see him elsewhere. But either way, I think Young Bucks, they've got to win. They've got to get their heat back. And beating Sting on his final match is an easy way to do it. Yeah.
It's like if they win, okay, cool. Like the Young Bucks actually don't need the belts or need the win. But no. I just think there's a lot more storyline capital in Sting losing. Like again, I've always been very old school with that, but in recent years, that trend has been reversed somewhat. For example, Undertaker should have stayed retired after he lost to Roman Reigns.
Brock.
Well, maybe there's an argument that it should have been Brock, but do you remember when he took off his gear in the ring, kissed his wife, walked back up the ramp, did this?
Should have been it.
Here's the thing. That John Cena match where he kind of came back and unretired and battered the living hell out of Cena. That was one of my favourite WrestleMania moments of my entire life as a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
So, I did enjoy the Boneyard match. Would it have happened if it wasn't for the pandemic? Probably not. And we can pretend that the Shawn Michaels Kane tag team Triple H match never happened. And I looked forward to Goldberg versus Undertaker because I wanted it for 30 years, but it was a stinker. So, I don't know. And I'm doing a cautionary tale, and I'm thinking about Sting. and thinking, I'm just happy that I got to see him wrestle a few more times after his first retirement, after that infamous buckle bomb in WWE. I thought that was it. That was the last we ever saw of Sting. I wanted him to face Undertaker one more time because I knew he could, and it never came about. But I'm just grateful that we've had a bit more Sting. Fine for this to end here, but I think it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind either way, but I'm guessing they lose to the Bucks because the Bucks win by being villains.
Yeah. And that is the final match. Like we said, I think that's probably going to be the main event.
Yeah.
You have thank you Sting chants as the pay-per-view goes off the air. I think that's a great way to end the show. I think it's a great way to show Sting that level of respect that he honestly does deserve.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's been a top guy in WCW when it was around. He was a top guy in in Impact TNA. He was technically a top guy in WWE for the short stint that he was there.
He really was.
Been a top guy. Yeah, he's been a top guy in AEW. And yeah, all we can say is thank you, Sting.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you remember in WWE when he turned up and he was doing all those cool vignettes, like menacing Triple H and stuff? I was a kid again during those moments.
Yes.
And a lot of people hate the WrestleMania match. And it's the thing, should Sting have beaten Triple H? Yes, absolutely. Was it still a great spectacle? Yeah, it really was. And NWO coming out, everyone going a bit grey. DX coming out, everyone's got a bit of a belly. Was that something they should have done 20 years earlier? Yes, of course it was, but who cares? We got to see it at WrestleMania, and it was a good Mania as well, that one. It was one of my favourites. Was it 31?
31, yeah.
Yeah. I've actually got the poster for it with your Sting's face on it, Undertaker's face on it, Triple H's face, Brock's face. It looks really such a cool poster. So just thinking about Sting's career. Sting was the guy who kind of got me into wrestling. I'd sit on the swings at about 10 years old with my friends, and we'd be discussing Vampiro wears seamless face paint to Sting. Do you think they might be brothers? just the crap you come out with when you're a kid watching wrestling.
Yeah.
Because back then it was Sting and Goldberg in WCW, who were both massive draws, and then it was Stone Cold versus Mr. McMahon, and just before the advent of The Rock in WWF. Yeah. It was just what a time, the Attitude Era, the Monday Night Wars. What a time to be alive! And I'm a wrestling fan because of those two brands at that time. And again, you're just a year younger than me, so I imagine you're in a very similar boat.
100%. My very first pay-per-view I've watched, not live, but it was the very first pay-per-view that I sat and watched all the way through, was 2000 Royal Rumble.
Wow!
Because it was Channel 4. It was a free pay-per-view that the UK got at the time, and that was the bit that hooked me in properly. It was the Triple H character. It was the Cactus Jack character. It was The Rock winning the Royal Rumble, and he cut a promo earlier on in the night, which was entertaining as hell, because he talks about worried about Crash Holly, worried about Headbanger Mosh, and it was just such an entertaining point for the night. Oh, we've got Sassy in. Oh, we're doing Sassy. You've missed most of the show.
It'd be all right. Well, it's quite early where you are, isn't it, Sassy?
Well, yeah, true, it is.
It's quite early, probably finishing and doing all the stuff you got to do. I feel like I've been here all day because I actually have been sat right here all day. but it's okay.
Hey, still got about another 4 hours left. It's all right.
About it. What the hell, man? I sat here this morning and I started work. I said good morning to the team. I thought, right, what have I got to do today? Got to do a handover, some Final Fantasy crap, got some flipping Diablo, got my usual. And then I thought to myself, I'm going to be here till 3 a.m.
Yep.
I'm going to be sat right here. I said, yeah, I might get a sandwich. Yeah, I might get a couple of drinks. I got to walk the dog a couple of times. Ain't no going to the gym today. You're here because I had some restless day stuff to do after my DeSoto shift that I really needed to do. And I thought, oh, I'm so screwed today. So I gave up on caring about leisure time at 9 a.m. this morning. So that's why I'm still here. So yeah, Sassy, it's nice to have you. We've done the pay-per-view card. We've done all of that. We're now just shooting the breeze about Sting, really, and the Attitude Era and things like that. But if you're here in a couple of hours, Sassy, we'll gladly have you for SmackDown. I really need you, to be fair. Please be at SmackDown. I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted. Please be here.
That's what Red Bull's for.
No, mate, I've got 2 in the fridge. I'm not even joking.
Nice.
Hi, Saucy Sam and Dapper Dan got home from the doctors. I hope they didn't tell you anything that wasn't good news, Sassy.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers. You see a lot of them with the doctors when you're our age, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, what I was going to do, I was going to sort of end the stream there for now, because it gives you a bit of time to get ready for SmackDown if you need a little bit of break, a little bit of fresh air, maybe stretch your legs before you're back in a couple of hours for SmackDown. So if people are about, don't forget to tune in. We've got the AEW Revolution pay-per-view this Sunday night / Monday morning, depending on where you're from. You can catch me on Monday Night Raws, and if you want to give me a tweet, you can do it up just there at DanHagrid88. You can follow Sam at SamSmith_1987. So tweet him out, send him your opinions for SmackDown, give him some questions, give him something to do, because he's not had much to do all day.
I tell you what, right, when I get out of bed tomorrow lunchtime, because I'm going to be up till 3 a.m., I go to the gym, I sort myself out. I'm doing nothing for a week, mate. Nothing for an entire week.
Do not blame you.
So there's SmackDown tonight, guys, but there ain't no SmackDown next week because I'm still going to be away, because Jess and I we're going away early because we're visiting some friends. Then we're doing Centre Parks. Then we're going somewhere else. Then I'm home. I'll be home on Sunday night. And ain't no one hearing from me for a week. Well, you guys will in the groups and stuff. But
yeah.
And Sassy, I really hope you're looking after yourself, because that's
yes.
Please
be looking after yourself.
Yeah, a nasty thing to have. I hope the doctor's giving you what you need, and you keep that into touch, because it's a scary thing to have, isn't it? Sometimes.
Yes.
But what you should do, Sassy, what will make you feel better, is hanging out with me for 2 hours during SmackDown. That's what my doctor ordered. So there you go. Flying in the toe. I'm Roman Reigns and The Rock. I mean, never mind me.
Yeah.
But all right then, Dan, you get off to bed, mate.
Yeah.
Go and wake up your fiance and stomp around the house and do what you got to do. I'm going to get a sandwich and I'll be back, boys and girls, just before 1 a.m. for SmackDown. It's gonna be good. I wasn't here last week because I was ill. I won't be here next week because I'm away, but I am here tonight, so make the most of it.
And we shall see you soon.